is that I'm going down here to see if I can find the accident site of um, what happened to one of my interviewers that I'm going to interview um, later on this morning, and it's it's a miracle that he survived the accident. Basically, it's an ordeal, and it's gonna be a good interview. I'm gonna but I'm gonna come down here and see if I can find the accident site, because when y'all see the pictures of the vehicle, y'all be very shocked that he survived that accident. And his story is amazing as well, because it's just I just cannot understand why it took that long, and the parts to it to get up to that point. Y'all are just gonna be like, really? What is going on? I mean, because it's been always told that where I stay, our police are very well. One, it's been said by other people in our community that our police are corrupt. It's been said that our police are, not very, uh, how you put it, not charismatic of some parts of the people in the community. And then it's been said that they care more of the substance of what they can, product, or how much, they can provide, like, how many tickets they can make, during a time, consume at much at the end of the month. But when it's to the point that they need to do their job, they are not even at one point at all. Do you understand what I'm saying? I mean, because I'm trying to find the right words, and then I know good and well that when this is posted, it's gonna say a lot of stuff, but I don't really care, because it needs to come out, because it's a mess. And how, oh crap, one of the boxes fell. And it's amazing because how this boy, well, basically how this young man, because he's 23 years old, how this young man got to this one point that he works as a living, he works as a landscaper. And everybody in this community where I stay know him, know the company that he works for, know the family that he works for, because he works for, it's a family business. The whole neighborhood knows him. The whole neighborhood, well, basically the whole state knows this family. And almost the whole department knows this family, knows what they do. And it's just almost like immoral of what they did to this boy, or what they did to this young man, this business owner's grandson, actually. Just the simple fact, because he was out working, literally working. And I'm gonna try to see if I can get where the accident actually happened, and I'm gonna see if I can, find out where it did happen, and see if I can, put some light on some of these areas. Yeah. So if you can, just go back and explain that whole day, if you can. I mean, because it just does not it just not make it just not it does not make no sense.
Okay. I got out there when I left from the house. Had all my equipment and everything.
What was your point of what was you supposed to be doing that day?
I,
Because I know you've had to have had a yard.
yeah. I went to end in the caves. I wasted the gas out there and sat out there to only get $10 back from at least a good amount of $50 worth of stuff. And from there, I came back here in a rush. Cause I was like, not only have made my yard in jeopardy because I'm losing daylight, but then I had another set of books that I know that I could probably make some money off of that I had to take out, back out there. But I had to finish the job first.
That the officers came back and was telling you that you had to move your trailer.
Yeah.
But you was telling him that the trailer, because of where it was,
Yeah, I was telling them, I'm in my legal boundaries. I ain't even, outstand the cone like I normally should do to give even my trailer some elbow room. I didn't even do any of that. I made sure the cone was seeable, visible, so a person that I'll say under the influence or just not paying attention will say, "Hey, I seen the cone. That's why I didn't hit his trailer." And but he was like, you still gotta move it. So I was telling him basically, where can I put it? I have my equipment in the backyard, which the backyard is not long enough for me to back the whole shish kebab back in there.
Yeah, it's not. I've seen that the yard, and the yard is no more than, I mean, it don't even have a driveway more than a curb to park on the side of the road.
And that's just the front yard. In the backyard, I had to jump through two people's backyards just to park my truck in the backyard, which neither one of the other property owners even mind because they seen I was doing work. But I couldn't fit the trailer and the truck and expect for me. It's about how I need to move my trailer. I went on ahead and moved the trailer, hooked it up, moved the trailer. Now, the officer stated, that if I couldn't put it nowhere around the facility. So the only place I could have put it where it was close and that I knew it would get watched over is at the store up the street. So as I got to put the trailer up there, backed it in, and unhooked it, went back down to finish my work. Shortly after that, I didn't need the tractor no more, but I still needed stuff to clean up in the back, so I moved the tractor to the front yard and put it there. Look, just chainsaw and all in there. Put it there. I'll say not even 10, 15 minutes after I put the darn tractor there, another officer walks up talking about somebody trying to steal my damn tractor. So I said no, couldn't be, because I would have heard it if somebody was messing with it. But on top of that, how they gonna take it when I'm outside working? Now, this officer, if I was severely intoxicated like how they said I was, both of these officers should have seen that I was under the influence because both officers I was drinking the alcohol with those times. So these times are like from 5 o'clock to 6 o'clock that I was drinking at Fort Loco. So prior to that, after I get a call from the store saying somebody has stolen my blower off the trailer. Now at first I was like, oh, he's just messing with me. Let me go up here and see what Teddy want, cause Teddy do get lonely. So Teddy was like, no, I was just making sure, but was your blower up here? And he had the serious face on. I looked outside. I said, Teddy, what does that camera have on it? He said it had a black guy with a green hoodie that took my blower. So he told Donnie to go back through the store cameras, and I told Teddy to call the police. Shortly after that, I seen a man with a backpack blower as I was pulling out of the store, getting a white truck and throw that blow on the back. And what I did was got into pursuit.
Knowing that you had
Knowing that I had weight and all on the back of the damn dump truck. Yes.
knowing that you had been drinking also.
Yes, knowing that I've been drunk, I was drinking that day. I already built over stress because I have too many equipment that has gotten lost on my job that my grandfather has accused me for. Okay. So therefore, I am going to do everything in my power to make sure I get every lick of equipment back.
Even though you're still intoxicated.
Even if I'm intoxicated.
Okay. So you go into pursuit.
I'm going into pursuit.
Knowing above the street where you're at, there's a dead man's curve that's very sharp.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, but there's a stoplight where it's at.
Yeah, it's a stoplight there.
So basically, you could not go but so
fast.
So
Either
fast.
I made that light or I didn't make that. I had to make that light because it's the only way. Because if I came the back way and went down, I would have. Well,
you couldn't have because that's a one way. So you had to have gone around the corner, and you've had to have passed that light to keep going to catch that curve.
Yep. Chasing that truck. So therefore, once I got into that curve, it was too heavy to slow down or to even shift down because I do shift down when I slow down.
And why is that?
Because I have weight and it's a stick shift, and I've always been taught to gear down the weight of the truck and the brakes so you won't burn out the brakes.
Okay.
Because if you have a big rig, if you don't do that, you'll lock up your brakes.
Oh, okay.
So obviously, when I went around that end of that bend, the back end must have had to slip from underneath. Slid me one way. I probably tried to compensate to go the other way. Probably whipped it and whipped over and smacked the heck out of that tree.
Yeah, because we can show you what the tree looks like. It looks like this. Now, so what happens when you get to the police department? Because I've noticed from other forms that we have, and we'll show you here, that there's different discrepancies about your forms. So you took, it looks like here, as we show right here in this form, that you took 8 breathalyzer tests and 3 chemical tests. Yep. What was that for?
Because
doesn't that look like
yeah, I took 8 breathalyzers. Well, I had at least 10 tests, period. But
is that regular procedures in your community?
No.
Oh, okay.
I only believe that you only get, even leaving the scene of the crime or at the scene of the crime, only 1 breathalyzer test. And if so happenly you messed up the first test, they give you 1 more. But I've never heard of anything else. A state trooper in Greensboro gave me 1 breathalyzer test and gave me the physical test. Say he took me out there. He told me to walk a straight line in the yellow line.
But as far as what I've researched, the only thing they use the line and everything, isn't that before they give you the breathalyzer test? Because if you fail what is called, the walk, the plank, and all that, that's because, if you can't do that, then they give you a breathalyzer. They don't do that before. Is that correct?
No, they don't. Normally, they don't do it at all. As long as if you don't pass that breath test, period,
there's no point
of going any farther than that.
But for you, obviously they didn't think that you couldn't pass not 1, not 2, not 3, but you had to do 8 for them to decide that you was intoxicated.
Yeah, even though
so for some reason your community is intoxicated itself.
Somebody had to be.
Oh, okay.
Because this is how I see it. One officer asked me, how did I get here? I told him I drove here. So obviously, the only I had a
And
flash.
this was at the scene of the crime,
Scene-
this was
No,
at
this
the
is
home,
at
or
this is
this is
at
at
home.
the homebound.
The homebound.
Oh,
This
so they
didn't find me.
They didn't find you at the scene of the crime.
No.
Oh, so after the accident, you was able still to drive the vehicle to the property owner where you work at.
Yes.
So you was able to bring the vehicle back to homebound,
Mm-hmm.
and they still took you
To jail.
to the police department.
And I was not in the car at the time, so I mean,
So
not trying to
basically,
be a smart
so
person,
basically,
but
you was not even in the vehicle.
no.
So how could they have taken you from the vehicle? How did they know that you was at the scene?
I don't know. The only thing that they could say that from is because of word of mouth that came out of my mouth saying that I had called and there's a police officer sitting right beside the truck and I'm standing beside the truck.
Also, because you called, being honest of the situation, because you reported a part of your property being stolen,
Mm-hmm.
you got taken to the police department. Okay, let me get this straight. I
called because I had a blower stolen, and I told them I was in the pursuit of the vehicle.
And because your property has always been stolen in the past, and it seems like your community police department don't really do anything about it, but because your honesty put yourself in a situation where the police department came and took you, kind of like arrest you, but didn't arrest you, because we looked at your forms, and thank you for letting us look at your forms. We was looking at your forms. You really wasn't arrested. You was just being interrogated and basically held for investigation for 2 hours.
Yes, because basically they wanted me to tell them that I hit a tree and kept going when, in my mind, I guess because I was intoxicated, I thought I hit the pursuing vehicle instead of the tree.
But you never hit a vehicle.
No, I never hit a vehicle.
You just hit a tree.
I just hit a tree and kept going. Well, no, I hit the tree. I guess the truck cut off. I started to back up somehow and drove. Well, I had to back up because I was in the tree.
Yeah, because we got the pictures of the truck, and we can show y'all the picture.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I didn't hit anything else after.
Yeah, you didn't hit, you didn't hit anything other than a tree that's not even in anybody's property. It's basically a tree that's on a sidewalk. It's basically just, city property. Well, not even really city property. It's just, a tree for decoration. And you didn't hurt anybody, so there's nothing to that. But
because see, the only thing they really said that I know so far that they could have on me is having an accident, hitting a tree, and leaving the scene of the crime of me hitting the tree. But
the crime is a tree.
Yeah, a tree. And I left the scene and I went home.
But it's a tree.
True.
What crime did you do?
I guess I killed the tree.
Yep. Okay.
I guess I really killed Mother Nature.
Wow. Okay. I didn't know you could get a citation, a 2-hour investigational interrogation.
No, 3 hours.
3 hours. Oh, so you was interrogated for 3 hours.
Mm-hmm.
And then when you went to the magistrate, if you don't mind us asking, when you went to the magistrate...
Oh, that went fast. When I hit the magistrate, actually, when I went into the county area of the magistrate, they only took, I'll say, an extra 15 to 20 minutes to process me, to sit me in a room and say, hey, look.
Oh, so they took you upstairs?
No, they didn't take me upstairs.
Okay, so how was you processed if you didn't get to go upstairs?
Well, they took everything like I was going into county jail.
Uh-huh.
But I went into the first magistrate building first, not the...
So you didn't go to county jail?
No.
So they released you?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so how can you have gotten processed, and how can you have gotten filed for intoxication, but you didn't get processed for intoxication? You didn't go to county jail, and I'm assuming that you got released that that night.
Yeah, I got released that night to
With no bail.
with no
Another
bail.
edition, and soon to be, hopefully, for my new channel, is Justice in Our Community. And I want to thank, like I said, I want to thank Mr. McAdoo for joining us and being a part of our interview. So I hope you enjoyed our interview today, and I hope that you will view my channel and look for another intakes on Candlina in real life. You have a good evening, and thank you very much for watching. Bye. Assalamu alaikum.